1,
2,
3, 4,
5. Hello, my name is Jonathan Basler, and this is my Persuasive Speech. Baseball has always been a favorite pastime of mine. I have been to watch several games at Major League ballparks. The Cardinals have always been one of my favorite teams, and I can remember sitting in the stands when I was younger and watching players like Mark McGwire, Ken Griffey Jr., and Sammy Sosa. The only thing I wanted to see was a player put the ball over the fence. Preferably a player on the Cardinals team, but honestly it really didn't even matter. There's something about watching the baseball sail through the air and over the fence that gets you excited. It doesn't make any difference how big or small you are. It doesn't matter your color or nationality. It's every little boy's dream in those stands that someday they too will be able to send the ball flying through the air into home run land. Living in America is all about rights, and in my opinion, it is a right by players that they should be able to use performance-enhancing drugs. If athletes want to take a substance that will improve their performance, which will also improve their wealth and fame, there is nothing wrong with that. Even if long-term use of performance-enhancing drugs have negative effect, it should be a person's choice whether or not they want to use them. They should be allowed to do whatever they want. If performance-enhancing drugs have such a negative health issue, then why haven't we put a stop to tobacco in professional sports? Why hasn't boxing or mixed martial arts been banned? The risk of a fighter not being able to walk or talk as they age, or even dying in the ring, far outweigh the risk of performance-enhancing drugs. Another thing that we must think about when it comes to health is what is really the difference between natural and unnatural enhancements. Athletes use all kinds of dietary supplements, exercise, equipment, clothing, and even medical treatments to improve their performance. There is nothing natural about taking vitamin pills or wearing whole-body titanium suits that are supposed to improve your game dramatically. Diets, medicine, technology, and coaches already gave an artificial advantage to those athletes who can't afford them. Since there is no way to tell the true differences between legal and illegal performance supplements, then they all should be allowed. Legalizing performance-enhancing drugs level out the playing field as well. Currently, suspicion about drug use surrounds every sport and every successful athlete. Those who don't take enhancing drugs see themselves at a major disadvantage. There are no tests for some drugs and new medical advances, meaning that cheating will always be ahead of the testers. Legalization would remove this uncertainty and allow everyone to compete openly and fairly. One of the biggest reasons why I believe that the law should be lifted is simply the question of, why do people go to professional games? I'll tell you why: to see a real human do something that no one else can do. Everybody wants to go to a baseball game and see a 500-foot home run. Everybody wants to go to a basketball game to see a massive power dunk. And everyone goes to a football game to see men hit each other like two cars colliding. The use of steroids in professional sports is what can make all of this happen. Public demands higher, faster, and stronger from athletes. If drug use is what it takes for today's players to break records or make players bigger and more exciting to watch, why deny the spectators, especially if the athletes want to give it to them? Professional sports get all of their wealth and fame from common fans just like you and me. Some of the games that I remember are the games that are much more entertaining, and that is the reason why I go back to watch more. Could you imagine if every game you went to was as action-packed like every few of the ones you see now? If they were, you'd have to go back and be begging for more. With this said, professional organizations would be sold out and every game would make a lot more money. There are currently rules right now that are unfair. For example, the Olympics forbid athletes from using cold medicines, even in sports, with simulants in which medicines would have minimum effects on the performance. There's also the possibility that some positive tests are simply the result of using a combination of legal food supplements. Cyclists legally have heart operations to allow increased circulation and thus improve performance, but they would be banned if they were to use performance-enhancing drugs. In many countries, bans on performance-enhancing drugs fail to stand up in court. They believe that testing for drugs in a person's system is an invasion of privacy and is very hard to pass in court, so bodies often fight and lose such court cases, wasting vast sums of money. If drugs were legal, they could be controlled and monitored by doctors, making them much safer. Athletes on drugs today often take far more than needed for performance enhancement because of ignorance and the need of security. Legalization would help with the exchange of information on drugs and open medical supervision that will avoid many of the health problems currently associated with performance-enhancing drugs. Let's not deny those little boys sitting in the stands the thrill of watching the ball sail over the fence. Every child should be able to dream of the day when they too will be able to send the ball through the air and into home run land. Let's teach them importance of health and exercise, the risk of certain medicines and supplements. Then let's let them make the decision of what they believe is best for them. My name is Jonathan Basler. Thank you.